Hi, I'm Emily Lee, and this is a book talk of the book Empty by Suzanne Weyn, and it was published in 2010. I'm just going to give you a brief summary real quick. This book is based in the very near future where everybody knew that climate change, gas wasn't going to be there forever. And so first, this book is just really depicting the challenges that are going to happen in the future if we don't start changing the ways that we use petroleum and gas and change it for renewable sources. So first, in this book, gas shortages happen. And it's $20 a gallon to get a gallon of gas. Soon it could be up to even $90 a gallon. So really, the characters don't know how they're going to get everything. And then supplies started to become short. If it uses gas or oil to be made, or plastic, or anything that is used from mining, it's becoming scarcer and scarcer. And even fresh produce during the winter is hard to find because they don't have the gas to bring it into the town. And so Gwen, one of the main characters, is living with her brother, and their mom left them, but her and her brother have avoided the authorities and everything. And her brother Luke embezzles gasoline for a living, so that's illegal. And Gwen over time develops crush on character Tom, and his dad had just died, so he is not a newcomer to suffering either, along with Gwen. Another main character would be Nikki, who lives in a rich town with rich parents, doesn't know that the shortage of gas is going to affect her everyday life, but it slowly starts to. So she is dealing with suffrage of all these shortages way differently than Gwen and Tom are. Well, because of climate change and everything like that, a Category 6 hurricane actually hits the town and floods the streets, and nobody can get out unless you're using a boat. And so Tom and Gwen and Nikki actually end up finding a secret place that was in the woods. Is called the Whippersnapper 3, and it's actually a self-relying house that uses renewable energy. And really, these characters are just trying to get everybody to see that there's a different way to live without having to go through all of these sufferings. Well, that's basically the summary of the book. It's short and easy to read. It really only has, 183 pages. I think that personally I read this in about an hour. I would definitely recommend this book. It's an adult, young adult fiction, so it's pretty easy reading level. So that's one reason why I would definitely suggest this book. It's very engaging book. It keeps you flipping the pages. You just want to keep reading. Another reason why it would be, it's also very informational. Like, we all know, or At least you should know about climate change and global warming and renewable resources. But it also gives you, this book here gives you a way to learn about what may happen if we run out of things and why we need to change the way we're doing things now. So it's a very informational book. Has a lesson at the end, but it's also got stories and a love story, and so it's not just information thrown at you. It's a nice read. It's a nice story. You can visualize what you're thinking about. So that's basically the book Empty. And again, it's by Suzanne Weyn, and that's what the cover looks like. So I'm going to read a quick passage for you just to get you into the book. That night, Gwen came into the house behind Luke. 2 steps in, she stumbled on a box of motorcycle parts in the living room. "Ow!" she shouted. "Put on a light, will you?" Luke struck a match. His illuminated face seemed to hang there in the blackness. "Can't," he said, as his expression once more disappeared into the dark. "Price of electric went up again, and I couldn't make it this month." "They shut it off?" Gwen asked, her voice rising. "Looks that way. Our bill was $900 for last month, so I couldn't pay it. I don't know what's going on. I never thought I wished I'd lived next to a nuclear generator. But no, we live in a place where they generate electricity from oil-burning turbines. Lucky us." Gwen had heard this complaint plenty of times before. "Yeah, lucky us," she muttered. Then she went back outside. The constellation of Cancer, the crab, hung brilliantly, perfectly defined above her. In the next second, she realized why the stars were so bright. Everything in her immediate area was black. All the lights were out. Gwen ran around to the back of the house and got onto the low roof. The sun had been down for hours, so it was no longer blistering hot. From there, she climbed to the peak of the second, higher roof. Looking down, she saw that Sage Valley was completely black. It was a long way off before she could see a patch of lights from some other town once again. Surely all these people hadn't left their bills unpaid. No, this was a blackout. Just below, Tom's yard was so deeply entranced in darkness that she couldn't see anything. The next second, a flashlight snapped on, throwing a pool of light. Tom stood at its center. Then he turned off the flashlight and disappeared. The impulse to call out to him was strong, and Gwen opened her mouth to speak, but then she shut it once again. What was the point? In the intense heat, no breeze stirred. Beads of sweat formed on Gwen's forehead as she sat just below the roof's peak. She had never known such a deep silence. So again, that's just a passage from the book, and that's the book Empty. And this was my book talk. Thank you.